You know, wasteful spending out of Washington, nothing new, but when it's their own money and not taxpayers' money, will they spend it any more wisely? A former Virginia governor, now DNC Chairman Tim Kaine, saying that the Democratic Party intends to spend a record $15 million during the midterm elections. Jonathan Hoenig says no matter whose money it is, they'll find a way to flush it down the drain. Joining Jonathan and Mike Norman and Ellen Karras. Jonathan, what do you mean by that?
Well, Neil, despite the immense unpopularity of his policies, the Democrats and indeed the president continue to move down this road of immense government spending and domination of the economy. I mean, polls now show a majority of respondents believe the economy is worse off under the president, believe that the GOP would be better for the economy. So this notion from the president that profit-seeking capitalism is destructive and that government spending creates wealth, I think is falling very much flat with the American public right now.
Mike, you agree with that, right?
Oh, totally.
Okay,
no,
thank
listen,
you, Mike.
Look, they got to change the message. It's clear because Jonathan just made that absolutely clear. That most people think.
You agree with Jonathan?
No, I don't agree with him. But people think like Jonathan that it has done nothing when we know that's not true. So spending the money to change the message. Look, a lot of things happen, all right? The economy grew. Wait a second. I mean, we went from a contraction to a moderate expansion.
And all that money did that.
We've had, what? All that money what?
Excuse me, Mr. Cavuto. All that money did that.
Well, the money created, you know, X amount more than what was spent. We had household net worth went up by
trillions of dollars, something's got to stick. Right?
Sure, that study of giving monkeys cocaine and seeing how they react, that one's a good one.
Yeah,
that really expanded
well,
the
to be fair, those are
nice
rather than rules.
Yeah, that was in your dreams.
$1.25 million to get the smell of manure out from Iowa. I thought that's what Febreze was for. I mean,
maybe
seriously.
They'll come up with a trivia show where you'll be able to spout out these ridiculous
I'll take any show at this point in my
nonsense.
career, Mike. I'd even have you on.
But in other words,
you don't
think this is getting needlessly I'm going to put you all in the old HD wing, and it could get ugly. But you don't think any good has come of it?
If there's a few construction jobs, great. I mean, I'm all for fixing the roads, no problem.
Right.
But I think most of it was just payback.
Go ahead, Johnny.
And it's 20 months, Neil. This is 20 months after that initial stimulus that was supposed to create all these jobs and get the economy back on track was passed. So what do we have to show for it, Mike? Yes, some new paved roads, but still the 10% unemployment rate and
well,
now
it's
the
not,
$1 trillion
first of all,
plus
it's not 10%. It was over 10%, and it came down. And actually, Jonathan, if you look at the data, I know you don't really like to do that because it would totally mess up your whole entire argument. But if you look at the data between the establishment survey and what is that? That's between businesses and people doing entrepreneurial type of work. Actually created $1.5 million.
Well, let's say, don't do the creative thing. But let me ask you, Mike.
Don't do the creative.
But Mike, because it's just made up. We can't prove it. But Mike, no, seriously, listen to me. I just want to ask you this, because let's take it as a given, things improve. I argue, throw that much money, something's going to stick and get better. Are you surprised then it didn't get even better than that?
No, because why? I mean, $400 billion went to TARP. You had a lot of money, what was TARP? That was money that went nowhere. That was like regulatory forbearance. It wasn't spent money. You had a guest on here, Neil, earlier who talked about China, who talked about they spent 25% of their GDP on their stimulus, and they had to calm things down because it was going crazy. We spent 5%.
Go ahead, John.
Right. And Mike, the public that is so vehemently against this spending, this government monopoly, are they just idiots? Are they dummies?
The bottom line is there's still no jobs. Manufacturing is out of this country, as are service businesses are now out of this country. Accounts payables are being done in India.
You guys both
and the public has been propagandized into believing that the spending is going to leave their kids with some huge debt. Didn't happen after World War II. Won't happen now.
Well, we don't know. But, guys, I want to get you back tomorrow and explore this in greater detail. Speaking of tomorrow,